Success isn't a handout. It's not something that comes easy or quick. If you think you can take shortcuts, skip the work, and still reach your dreams, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. The reality is, the easiest way to success is the hard way. That's right, the hard way. The way that demands effort, sweat, and grit. The road that most people try to avoid because it's tough, but the only way that truly leads to lasting success. The major key to your better future is you. If you're waiting for someone else to give you the easy path, you're missing the point. No one's coming to hand you the life you want. You're the one who has to show up, put in the work, and fight through the struggles. And when you do, you'll realize something powerful. Every bit of effort you put in now pays off later. The more you invest in the hard work, the less you'll have to struggle down the line. So what does that mean for you? It means that if you're willing to face the challenges, push through the discomfort, and choose the hard path, you're setting yourself up for success in ways most people will never understand. The road may not be easy, but it's the only one that leads to true achievement. Stick around, because we're about to break down why the hard way isn't just the best way. It's the only way. Number one, hard work never betrays you, but laziness does. Success doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't show up one morning at your doorstep with a bow on top. It doesn't just happen to lucky people, and it doesn't favor the ones who wait. Success belongs to those who work for it, day after day, year after year, until their effort turns into results. You don't stumble your way into greatness, you build it, brick by brick with hard work and persistence. But here's what's dangerous: laziness. Laziness will whisper in your ear, telling you to take it easy, to slow down, to rest, when there's no reason to. And if you listen, if you give in, it won't happen overnight, but slowly it will steal your future right out from under you. The truth is, hard work will never betray you. It will test you, challenge you, stretch you, but it will never leave you empty-handed. Laziness, on the other hand, will always disappoint you. It will give you comfort today, but it will rob you of everything you could have had tomorrow. Every single person who has ever built something great, who has ever changed their life, who has ever reached their full potential, they all have one thing in common. They put in the work. They showed up even when they didn't feel like it. They kept pushing even when there were no results yet. They worked through the days when no one was watching, when no one was cheering them on, when no one believed in them. And because of that, they won. But the ones who gave in to laziness, the ones who kept saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," or "I'll start when I feel motivated," they lost. They watched their dreams fade. They saw their potential slip away, and they were left with nothing but regret. Because laziness doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about your dreams, your goals, or the life you want to create. Laziness just wants to keep you where you are, stuck, unfulfilled, and wishing you had done more. You see, the difference between where you are now and where you want to be isn't luck. It's not talent. It's not intelligence, and it's not who you know. It's the work you're willing to put in. It's the effort you're willing to make, even when you don't see immediate results. It's the discipline to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they're not consistent. They start something, they work at it for a few weeks, maybe even a few months, but then they stop. They stop because it got too hard, or because they weren't seeing results fast enough, or because they thought they could take a break and pick it up later. But success doesn't work like that. If you stop, if you quit, the results stop too. That's the price. That's why hard work is the only thing that guarantees success. Because as long as you keep going, you can't lose. Think about it. What happens when you work hard at something every single day? You get better, you improve, you grow, you develop skills, you build momentum, you get closer and closer to your goal. And eventually, success becomes inevitable. You can't be stopped because you refuse to quit. But what happens when you let laziness win? Nothing. You stay the same. You don't grow, you don't improve, you don't move forward. And what's worse, you start to lose confidence in yourself. Because deep down you know you could have done more. You know you could have tried harder. You know you let yourself down. And that feeling, that's the worst feeling in the world, because nothing eats away at you more than knowing you had a chance, but you didn't take it. That's why you can't give in to laziness. That's why you have to work every single day like your future depends on it, because it does. Every day you put in the work, you're making a deposit into your future. You're building something real, something lasting, something that will eventually pay you back in full. But every day you choose laziness, you're making a withdrawal. You're taking away from what you could have had. And if you do that long enough, eventually, you have to decide what kind of person you want to be. Do you want to be the person who wakes up every day knowing you're working towards something bigger? The person who pushes through the hard days, who stays consistent, who refuses to quit no matter what? Or do you want to be the person who keeps making excuses, who keeps waiting for the right time, who looks back years from now and wonders what could have been? It's not complicated. The people who win are the ones who work for it. The ones who lose are the ones who don't. That's it. There's no secret formula, no shortcut, no magic trick, just work. And if you're willing to do it, if you're willing to put in the time, if you're willing to grind every single day, then success isn't a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So stop waiting, stop making excuses, stop thinking about it, and start doing it. Because hard work will never betray you, but laziness will. And one day, you're going to look back on your life, and you're either going to be grateful that you gave it everything you had, or you're going to regret that you didn't. And that choice, that's completely up to you. Number 2, the hard road is the one without competition. Most people spend their lives looking for the easy way, the shortcut, the quick fix. They want success, but they want it without struggle. They want results, but they don't want to put in the work. And because of that, they all end up in the same place, stuck in a crowd, fighting for the same scraps, wondering why they're not getting ahead. But the people who understand how life really works, they don't look for the easy way. They don't follow the crowd. They take the hard road, the road with no shortcuts, the road that most people are too afraid to travel. And do you know what happens when you take that road? There's no competition. Most people are competing in the same space, doing the same things, hoping for the same results. They're trying to get rich quick, trying to find success overnight, trying to win without doing what it actually takes. They chase trends, they follow the masses, they do what's popular. But the problem with that is, if everyone is doing the same thing, how do you stand out? How do you win? You don't. You just become one of many. You just blend in. And when you blend in, you're replaceable. But when you choose the hard road, the road most people run from, you separate yourself from the pack. Because very few are willing to do what's difficult. Very few are willing to take risks, to do the work, to stay committed when things get tough. And that's why the hard road is where the real opportunities are. That's why it's where the winners are made. Think about it. If something is easy, everyone will do it. If success were simple, everyone would have it. If building something great took no effort, then greatness wouldn't mean anything. But the reason success is valuable is because it's rare. And the reason it's rare is because it's difficult. Most people aren't willing to wake up early, stay up late, put in the hours, and push through the struggle. Most people don't want to deal with failure, rejection, or setbacks. So they quit. They take the easy way. And that's exactly why they never make it. But the ones who do, the ones who keep going when others stop, the ones who keep pushing when it gets hard, those are the ones who win. Those are the ones who reach levels others never even dream of. Because they're playing a different game. They're not worried about what everyone else is doing. They're not looking for competition. They're too busy creating something so great that competition doesn't even matter. The truth is, success isn't about beating other people. It's about becoming so good that you can't be ignored. It's about getting to a level where no one can replace you, where no one can take what you've built. And the only way to do that is to take the hard road. The road that forces you to grow, that makes you stronger, that separates you from the rest. Most people don't want to hear this. They want to believe there's a way to win without the struggle. They want to believe there's a way to reach the top without climbing. But that's not how it works. The hard road is the only road that leads to real success. Because the easy road, that's where everyone else is. That's where the competition is. That's where you stay average, stay stuck, stay in the same place year after year. So if you want something different, you have to do something different. You have to choose the path that most people won't take. You have to be willing to do the work that most people avoid. You have to be willing to struggle when everyone else is looking for comfort. Because if you do, You'll find yourself in a place where very few have been, a place where competition doesn't exist, a place where success is inevitable, not because you were lucky, not because you were special, but because you chose the road that no one else was willing to walk. Number 3, the more you sweat now, the less you'll struggle later. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that success is something that will come to you if you wait long enough. We've all heard about those overnight success stories. The stories of people who suddenly hit it big, who woke up one day and found everything they wanted at their doorstep. It's tempting to believe that success can be found with the least amount of effort. The reality, however, is far from that. The truth is, the more you sweat now, the less you'll struggle later. Let me explain that. When we talk about sweating now, we're not just talking about physical sweat. We're talking about putting in the work, doing the things that others don't want to do, putting in the effort when it's uncomfortable. And when you do that, when you push yourself now and make the effort, you're setting yourself up for a future where things are easier, where success comes with less resistance. Think about it. How many times have you faced a challenge, a goal, or a dream that seemed impossible at first, but you pushed through, didn't you? You put in the work even when it was tough. Maybe you sacrificed your weekends to study for an exam. Maybe you spent extra hours learning a new skill to advance in your career. Maybe you worked overtime at your job to create a better future for yourself and your family. It wasn't easy. It didn't come fast, but you did it anyway. And as a result, what happened? Things got easier, didn't they? You gained knowledge, skills, and confidence. You built momentum, and every step you took in the direction of your goals made the next step a little bit easier. You sweat now, but you don't struggle later. On the other hand, when you avoid doing the hard work, when you take the easy way out, you set yourself up for future struggles. You end up feeling overwhelmed because you didn't prepare yourself for what was coming. You end up wishing you had put in the effort when you had the chance, but by then it's too late. Let's face it, no one likes to work hard. It's uncomfortable, it's tiring, it takes time, but the truth is, hard work isn't the enemy. It's actually your best friend. It's what separates those who succeed from those who don't. You don't get to skip over the work. You can't avoid the sweat. You can't jump straight to the reward without paying the price. Now, I know it's not easy. I know it's tempting to take shortcuts, to believe that success should come without struggle. But you have to realize that there's no magic formula. There's no easy path to true success. You have to put in the work. You have to get your hands dirty. You have to sweat. But here's the good news. When you make the effort now, when you do the work that no one else is willing to do, you put yourself in a position to succeed in ways others can't even imagine. You become the person who stands out, the person who's prepared for the challenges ahead, the person who is confident and capable. You sweat now, but you set yourself up for a future with less struggle. Think about the people you admire most, the ones who seem to have it all together, the ones who are successful in their careers, their relationships, their health. Do you think they got there by avoiding the work? Do you think they took the easy road? Of course not. They sweat, they put in the hours, they made the sacrifices, and because of that, they get to enjoy the rewards. Success is not an accident. It's a result of consistent effort over time. It's the result of pushing through the hard moments and doing the work when you don't feel like it. It's the result of getting up every day and giving your best. But let's talk about the struggles for a moment. There will be times when the effort feels overwhelming, when you're tired, when you're unsure if it's worth it. Those moments will come, but that's when you need to push even harder. That's when you need to remind yourself of the bigger picture. You're not doing this for today, you're doing it for tomorrow. You're investing in your future self. And the more you sweat today, the less you'll struggle tomorrow. We've all had those moments of doubt, those moments when we feel like throwing in the towel. But here's the thing, the pain of pushing through now is nothing compared to the pain of regret later. The pain of working hard today is temporary. The pain of living with what could have been is permanent. The truth is, the people who don't sweat now end up struggling later. They find themselves stuck in situations they can't get out of because they didn't prepare. They find themselves working harder in the long run, scrambling to catch up. But the person who sweats now is the one who builds a foundation that they can stand on. They make it through the tough times with strength and resilience because they've already put in the work. So, let's be real here. Success is not easy. There's no magic formula. There's no shortcut to the top. But there is a path that leads to success. It's the path of hard work. It's the path where you put in the effort now so that you can enjoy the rewards later. If you're willing to sweat, if you're willing to put in the work when it's tough, then you're going to find success in ways that others will never experience. You're going to be the one who looks back and says, I did that, I earned this. And that feeling of knowing you've put in the work and built something meaningful, there's nothing better. So don't shy away from the hard work. Embrace it. Sweat now, and you'll find that the struggle gets easier. The road becomes smoother. And in the end, you'll look back and realize that the sweat was worth every drop. The more you sweat now, the less you'll struggle later. That's the secret. That's the key to building a successful, meaningful life. Now go out there and get to work. Start sweating today so that tomorrow you won't have to struggle. Number 4, the hard way forces you to grow into the person you need to be. There's a common belief that success comes easy for those who are lucky enough to have the right circumstances or the right connections. We see people who seem to effortlessly climb to the top and wonder why we can't have it that simple. But here's the thing, those people didn't get there by taking shortcuts or skipping the difficult parts of the journey. They got there because they were forced to grow along the way, and that's something you can't get without going through the hard way. The hard way doesn't just build your success, it builds you. The person you are today, with all your doubts, your insecurities, and your dreams, is not the person you need to be to reach your full potential. You need to grow. And the only way to grow is by pushing yourself through challenges that force you to expand your mind, your strength, and your resilience. The easy path won't do that for you. In fact, the easy path does the opposite. It keeps you stagnant. It keeps you comfortable in the place where you're at, preventing you from becoming the person you need to be to truly succeed. It's easy to think that you're ready for success, that you've done enough to earn it. But the truth is, you haven't yet become the person who deserves it. If success were handed to you right now, would you be able to handle it? Would you know how to manage the responsibilities, the pressure, and the challenges that come with it? Would you be the person who can lead a team, make difficult decisions, or inspire others to take action? More often than not, the answer is no. You're not yet the person who can handle the level of success you want. And that's okay. It just means you need to grow. When you take the hard way, you're forced to face situations that challenge you, that test your limits, and that push you out of your comfort zone. And that's where growth happens. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when you're up against a wall, when you're tired, when you feel like giving up, but you keep going anyway. Growth happens when you face failure, pick yourself up, learn from your mistakes, and try again. It's in those moments that you become the person who is capable of achieving great things. Think about the last time you went through something difficult, something that made you question your abilities or your decision to keep pushing forward. Do you remember how you felt? The frustration, the fear, the doubt? But then somehow you kept moving forward. Maybe you took small steps, maybe you stumbled along the way, but you didn't stop. And that's when you began to change. You learned more about yourself, your strengths and your weaknesses. You gained new skills, new perspectives, and new ways of thinking. You became better because you pushed through the tough times. You became stronger because you didn't quit. The hard way is not easy, but it's what shapes you into someone who can not only handle success, but who can truly appreciate it. If success came easy, it would be easy to take for granted. It wouldn't feel earned. It wouldn't feel like something that you've worked for, struggled for, and fought for. But when you take the hard way, when you push yourself and grow along the way, success becomes something you cherish. It becomes something you know you deserve because you've put in the work. And it's not just about the destination. The journey is what matters. The hard way teaches you how to be resilient, how to handle failure, how to manage pressure, and how to keep going even when the odds are stacked against you. It teaches you how to lead, how to make tough decisions, and how to stay focused on the bigger picture. These are the qualities that you need to succeed, not just once, but over the long term. Success isn't about a moment in time. It's about the person you become along the way. When you take the easy way, you rob yourself of that growth. You don't get the chance to learn the lessons that will make you stronger. You don't get the opportunity to develop the skills that will serve you in the future. The hard way forces you to face those things head on, and in doing so, you become the person who is capable of achieving everything you want. Imagine where you'd be right now if you hadn't taken the easy path at some point in your life. Think of all the times you could have stepped up, pushed harder, and become more, but instead chose to stay comfortable. What would you have learned about yourself? What skills would you have developed? What would you be capable of today if you hadn't taken the shortcuts? You can't go back in time, but you can decide from this point forward to embrace the hard way. You can choose to face challenges head-on, to grow and develop into the person who is capable of achieving the success you dream about. You see, the hard way is not just about doing the hard work. It's about becoming the person who can handle that work and succeed with it. It's about evolving into someone who has the strength, the character, and the mindset to achieve long-term success. And that's the real value of the hard way. It's not just about what you accomplish in the short term, but about who you become in the process. You might not see it right away. You might not feel it in the moment, but every time you push through the hard times, you're becoming someone new. You're becoming someone who is better prepared for whatever challenges lie ahead. You're becoming someone who can not only handle success, but who can sustain it. The hard way forces you to grow, to become the person you need to be to live a life of true success. So don't shy away from the challenges. Don't look for the easy way out. Embrace the hard way. Push yourself to grow. And when you do, you'll realize that success isn't just something you achieve. It's something you become. The person you need to be to reach your full potential is already inside you. The hard way is simply the path that forces you to unlock that person, to bring out your true strength and capabilities. So take the hard road. It's the one that will shape you into the person who can create the life you desire. And in the end, you'll look back and be grateful that you didn't take the easy way out. Number 5, the hard way is the shortcut, because it actually works. Success is often painted as a distant mountain, something that only a select few can reach. We all want it, we all dream of it. But the truth is, the path to success isn't a straight line. It's not a quick stroll in the park. It's a journey that demands effort, sacrifice, and most importantly, a willingness to do what others aren't willing to do. We all know that. But here's the catch. The hard way, the one everyone tries to avoid, is actually the shortcut. It might seem counterintuitive at first, but it's the truth. Think about it for a moment. If you want something to work, if you want something to last, then you need to put in the real effort. Success isn't a gift that's handed to you. It's something you earn through hard work. But here's where people get it wrong. They think that by taking the easy route, they'll save time, that they'll get what they want faster, but all they're really doing is putting off the inevitable. Every shortcut you take, every easy way you find only leads to more work down the line. The hard way is the shortcut, because it's the only way that truly works. It's the only path that doesn't cut corners. It doesn't deceive you with false promises of quick rewards. Instead, it prepares you for long-term success. It forces you to grow, to learn, and to develop the strength and discipline necessary to not only reach your goals, but to sustain them. And that's the key. The easy way might give you temporary success, but the hard way is the one that gives you lasting success. You see, when you take the hard way, you're not just working harder, you're working smarter. You're building the foundation of your success from the ground up. You're learning valuable lessons that others who take the easy path will never understand. Every time you face a challenge, every time you push through adversity, you're getting better, you're becoming stronger, you're becoming the kind of person who can handle the weight of success when it finally comes your way. And that's something that no amount of shortcuts or quick fixes can give you. It's easy to get frustrated when things aren't happening as quickly as you'd like. We all want results. We all want to see the fruit of our labor. But the hard way is the only way that ensures those results are sustainable. When you take the time to truly build something, when you put in the work to earn your success, you don't just get a fleeting moment of glory, you get a lasting legacy. Let's talk about growth. Growth is the result of challenge. It's the result of facing difficulties head-on and learning how to navigate through them. Growth doesn't come from sitting in your comfort zone or avoiding challenges. It comes from being stretched, from pushing yourself beyond your limits, and from learning how to handle the difficulties that life throws at you. The hard way forces you to grow in ways that you wouldn't otherwise experience. It challenges you to become more than you are. It challenges you to become the kind of person who can handle the success you want. When you take the hard way, you become a different person. You develop resilience. You develop the mental toughness to push through the tough times. You develop the discipline to keep going even when you don't feel like it. These are the qualities that success requires. These are the qualities that will carry you through when the easy path fails you. The hard way teaches you the lessons you need to know to thrive in the face of adversity. And that's why it's the shortcut. If you want to build something meaningful, something that stands the test of time, you can't afford to take shortcuts. Shortcuts are for those who want quick fixes, who want to cut corners and take the easy way out. But success doesn't work like that. Success is built on the foundation of hard work, discipline, and perseverance. It's built on the ability to handle challenges and keep moving forward, even when it feels impossible. When you choose the hard way, you're investing in your future, you're investing in yourself, you're investing in the person you need to become in order to handle the success that's waiting for you. The easy way may get you some temporary wins, but it won't prepare you for the long haul. The hard way, on the other hand, will build you into the kind of person who can handle anything life throws at you. Let's be real, life isn't easy. Success doesn't come without sacrifice, but that's what makes it worth it. When you work hard, when you push yourself beyond your limits, the rewards are so much sweeter. You'll look back and realize that all the struggles, all the setbacks, all the moments when you thought about quitting were all worth it because they made you who you are. They shaped you into the person who deserves success. In the end, the hard way isn't just the best way, it's the only way. The shortcut isn't a shortcut at all. It's a detour that leads you to dead ends. It's the hard way that leads to true success. It's the hard way that builds the foundation of your future. And when you look back on your journey, you'll see that every bit of effort, every sacrifice, every challenge you faced along the way was all part of the process. And you'll realize that the hard way wasn't hard at all. It was the shortcut to everything you ever wanted. Number 6, the people who fear hard work end up working harder for less. We all know the saying, the harder you work, the luckier you get, and yet so many people spend their lives trying to find ways to avoid hard work. The irony is, the people who fear hard work, the ones who try to take the easy way out, end up working harder for less. It's a pattern that plays out over and over again, yet it's one many people never seem to learn from. But why is this the case? It's simple. When you fear hard work, you fear the very thing that could set you free. You fear the effort and struggle that would actually lead to long-term success. Instead, you chase the illusion of ease. You look for shortcuts, for faster ways to get results, all while avoiding the hard work that could deliver the real, lasting rewards. But in the end, those shortcuts don't lead to what you expect. They lead to more work, more frustration, and less reward. The problem with avoiding hard work is that you're not getting out of work. You're just changing the kind of work you're doing. Instead of putting in the effort up front and building something solid, you spend your time putting out fires and dealing with the consequences of cutting corners. The people who fear hard work end up trapped in a cycle of constant catch-up, always scrambling to make up for the lack of effort they put in at the beginning. And this is where the real tragedy lies. By avoiding the hard work, by looking for shortcuts, and trying to dodge the grind, you end up working much harder for less. Think about it for a moment. If you want to succeed, if you want to build something that lasts, you have to put in the time. You have to dedicate yourself to the process. There's no getting around that. Success doesn't come by accident. It comes through commitment, discipline, and perseverance. And when you try to take the easy road, you're not avoiding hard work. You're simply avoiding the kind of work that actually leads to success. You're avoiding the work that makes you better, that builds your skills, and that prepares you for the challenges ahead. Here's the truth. If you're not willing to do the hard work up front, you will have to do the hard work later. But the difference is that when you take the easy route, the work you end up doing is inefficient, unproductive, and much more draining. You're chasing after quick fixes that don't last. You're constantly battling fires instead of building the foundation for success. And while it may seem easier in the short term, in the long run, you're going to be working harder than ever and with less to show for it. It's easy to look at someone who is successful and assume they had it easy. We often think they got lucky or that their success came to them without effort. But the reality is, successful people are the ones who did the hard work. They were the ones who put in the hours, who faced the challenges head on, and who were willing to grind it out when others were looking for shortcuts. They knew that the real work, the hard work, would pay off in the end. And it's not just about putting in the hours. It's about working with purpose, with focus, and with determination. The people who fear hard work aren't just avoiding physical effort. They're avoiding the mental and emotional work that success requires. They're avoiding the discomfort of growth, the struggle of learning new skills, and the challenge of pushing past their limits. They don't want to experience the pain of failure, the frustration of setbacks, or the exhaustion of pushing themselves to be better, but in avoiding all of that, they miss out on the one thing that can truly propel them forward, the growth that comes from doing hard things. When you choose to do the hard work, you're building something that has value. You're developing skills that will last. You're creating a reputation for yourself as someone who can be relied on to get things done no matter how tough the job. And that's something no shortcut can give you. Shortcuts may get you by for a while, but they don't give you the substance or the depth that hard work does. Think about the people who are successful today. They didn't get there by avoiding hard work. They got there by embracing it, by putting in the effort even when it seemed impossible. They learned how to work smarter, but they also understood that success requires hard work, and they were willing to put in that work day in and day out. The people who fear hard work, on the other hand, find themselves stuck. They're constantly trying to find ways around the effort, looking for easier paths. But they end up frustrated, worn out, and with nothing to show for their time. They've spent their lives avoiding the work that could have changed their situation, and as a result, they're always working harder for less. Here's the thing, there is no substitute for hard work. There's no shortcut to success, and the sooner you realize that, the better off you'll be. The people who fear hard work are the ones who find themselves stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. They never get to the level they want to reach because they're always looking for an easier way out. But the people who embrace hard work, the ones who are willing to put in the time and effort, are the ones who rise above the rest. They're the ones who achieve the success that others can only dream of. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Hard work doesn't betray you. It doesn't leave you hanging. It doesn't let you down. It builds you up, shapes you, and leads you to a place of success that is sustainable. So don't fear hard work. Embrace it. The work you put in today will pay off tomorrow. And the harder you work now, the easier your life will be later. Because the people who fear hard work, they're the ones who end up working harder for less. And no one wants that. The choice is yours. Do the work now and reap the rewards later, or keep avoiding it and find yourself working harder than ever with nothing to show for it. Number 7, easy will ruin your life. Hard will save it. There's something deeply ingrained in human nature that seeks comfort. It's natural to want an easier life, to avoid struggle, to take the path of least resistance. The thought of an easy life sounds so inviting, doesn't it? No stress, no hardships, no challenges to face. But let me tell you something that might sound harsh. Easy will ruin your life. It might look tempting right now, but it's a trap. The hard road, that's the one that will save you, that will build you, and that will create a future full of purpose and meaning. Now hear me out. I'm not saying we should live our lives in constant pain and suffering for the sake of it. That's not the point at all. What I'm saying is this. If you want to grow, if you want to accomplish something great, if you want to achieve anything meaningful, you have to stop chasing ease and comfort. Because when you go for the easy way, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Easy promises everything, but delivers nothing. It's a mirage, a false promise that always leaves you wanting more, but never truly fulfilling you. Think about it for a moment. How often have you taken the easy way out? Whether it's procrastination, avoiding difficult conversations, or choosing instant gratification over long-term success, the easy option always seems like the way to go. But how often has it really paid off? How often have you looked back and thought, I'm glad I took the easy way? Chances are it hasn't worked out the way you expected. Easy doesn't build anything. It doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't teach you anything valuable. It doesn't push you beyond your limits. And it doesn't make you a better person. All it does is keep you stuck in the same place, spinning your wheels but going nowhere. The truth is, the more you lean into comfort, the more you numb yourself to the hard things that will actually help you grow. When you avoid hard work, you avoid the opportunities for real progress. You avoid the lessons that come from overcoming obstacles, from pushing through when things get tough. And the worst part, you don't even realize how much you're sabotaging your future. The easy way promises you peace, but it only gives you a temporary sense of relief. It's the quick fix, the instant gratification, and it feels good in the moment. But it's a band-aid over a much deeper wound. On the other hand, when you choose the hard road, something magical happens. It forces you to grow. It forces you to become someone stronger, someone capable of achieving big things. Hard work teaches you resilience. It teaches you discipline, focus, and perseverance. It forces you to confront your weaknesses and turn them into strengths. It challenges you to go beyond what you thought was possible, to rise above the comfort zone and take on challenges that build real, lasting character. But it doesn't come without sacrifice. The hard road is exactly that, hard. It's not easy. It's going to push you to your limits, test your patience, and force you to make tough decisions. But here's the kicker. Every time you choose the hard way, you're not just moving forward, you're becoming the person you need to be to handle everything life throws at you. It's in those tough moments that you build the foundation for the future you dream about. It's in those moments that you get stronger, smarter, and more capable. And the best part, when you face hardship and come out the other side, you realize that you're capable of so much more than you ever thought possible. Think about the most successful people you know. The ones who've built something incredible, the ones who've reached the heights you aspire to. I can almost guarantee you that they didn't take the easy route. They didn't get there by avoiding struggle, by playing it safe, or by taking shortcuts. No, they went through hardship. They worked their butts off, faced failure after failure, and made sacrifices along the way. But it was all worth it, because they know something that many people don't. Hard work is the key to lasting success. Success doesn't come to those who avoid the grind. It doesn't come to those who run away from challenges. It comes to those who face the hard things head on, who are willing to endure the discomfort for a bigger purpose. The hard way forces you to level up. It forces you to push your boundaries and take risks that, although scary in the moment, pay off in the long run. Let's not sugarcoat this. Choosing the hard road isn't easy. It takes discipline, patience, and a mindset that's focused on long-term goals. But when you make that decision to face the hard things, to do what others won't, you start to see the fruits of your labor. You become someone who has the strength to take on whatever comes next. You become someone who understands that the pain of today is the price of the success you'll have tomorrow. And here's something else to think about. The easy way doesn't just hurt you, it hurts the people around you too. Think about your family, your friends, and your community. When you take the easy way, you're not just limiting yourself, you're limiting the impact you can have on others. You're not building the strength and resilience that would allow you to lift others up when they need it. But when you choose the hard road, you're creating a foundation not just for your own success, but for the success of the people you care about. You're setting an example of what it means to work hard, to persevere, and to never give up, even when things get tough. The easy road may feel good in the short term, but it's the hard road that will set you free. It's the hard road that will give you the life you've always dreamed of, the life where you're in control, where you've earned your place at the top. It's the hard road that builds the kind of strength, resilience, and character that can withstand any challenge. So don't be afraid of the hard road. Don't shy away from the struggle, because in the end, it's the hard way that will save your life. It's the hard way that will make you better, stronger, and more capable than you ever thought possible. It's the hard way that will lead you to the life you were meant to live. So choose the hard way today. It may not be easy, but it will be worth it. Trust me on that. Number 8. The hard way isn't just the best way. It's the only way. You see, there's something we all must come to terms with. We live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with messages about shortcuts, quick fixes, and instant gratification. The world tells us there's an easier way to do everything, that success is just a few steps away if you take the right path. But here's the truth you need to understand. The hard way isn't just the best way. It's the only way. If you're serious about achieving something great, if you're truly committed to becoming the person you were meant to be, then you need to embrace the hard road, because there's no other option that will get you there. The path of least resistance may seem attractive, but it only leads to mediocrity. Sure, you can take shortcuts, you can take the easy route, but it will never give you the depth, the strength, or the satisfaction that comes from putting in the hard work. The hard way forces you to confront your limitations, push beyond them, and grow in ways you never imagined possible. It forces you to build character, to develop resilience, and to embrace the struggles that ultimately define success. The truth is, without the hard way, you can't fully appreciate what success means because you haven't earned it. And deep down, you'll always know that something is missing. If you think about anyone who's truly successful, the people who've made an impact in this world, they didn't get there by avoiding hard work. They didn't get there by looking for the easy way out. No, they faced the struggles head on. They took the knocks, the failures, the disappointments, and they kept going. They built their strength in those moments of difficulty, and they came out the other side stronger, wiser, and more capable. They understood something that far too many people miss. Success isn't given to you, it's earned. It's not about doing things the easy way. It's about doing what needs to be done no matter how hard it is. The hard way is the path that separates the dreamers from the doers. Everyone dreams. Everyone has goals. But only those who are willing to put in the work, who are willing to face the challenges, get to claim the rewards. You've got to be willing to get your hands dirty. You've got to be willing to stay up late, to sacrifice weekends, to push yourself when every part of your body wants to quit. That's the hard way. But it's the only way that will truly take you to where you want to be. It's in those moments of struggle that you build the muscle of persistence. You build the strength to keep going when others would give up. It's in those moments when things are tough, when you feel like you can't go any further, that you discover what you're truly made of. And I promise you, that's where the magic happens. When you push past the limits you thought you had, when you push through the pain, that's when you unlock your true potential. That's when you become someone who doesn't back down from challenges. Someone who is unbreakable. The hard way isn't just a choice. It's a necessity. The reality is, life is hard. There's no way around it. You'll face challenges, setbacks, and obstacles at every turn. You can try to avoid them, but you'll only be delaying the inevitable. So why not face them head on? Why not take the challenges that life gives you and turn them into opportunities for growth? Why not choose to be the person who rises above, who uses every difficulty as fuel for their fire? The hard way is the way that will shape you into someone who doesn't just survive, but thrives. Someone who is built for success, no matter what life throws at them. When you take the hard way, you start to see things differently. You stop looking for excuses and you stop blaming others or your circumstances. You stop waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the perfect conditions. You create your own path, and you take control of your life. You stop being a victim of your circumstances, and you become the creator of your own destiny. The hard way teaches you that you are responsible for your success, that no one else is coming to save you. It's on you, and that's incredibly empowering. Now, I know it can be tempting to look at others and think that they have it easier, that they've had it easier from the start. It's easy to get caught up in the comparisons and feel like the hard way is only for those who are lucky or special. But let me tell you something. There is no one on this planet who hasn't had to work hard to get what they want. Everyone, no matter how successful they appear, has had to face their own battles. They've had to push through their own struggles and overcome obstacles in order to reach where they are. No one escapes the hard way. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll realize that the hard way is not only your path, it's the only path that will get you where you want to go. The hard way also teaches you to value the journey, not just the destination. When things are tough, when you're struggling, you learn to appreciate the small wins, the little victories, and the progress you make along the way. You realize that success isn't a straight line. It's filled with detours, setbacks, and obstacles. But those detours are where you learn the most. Those obstacles are what shape you into the person you need to become. And when you reach the top, you'll appreciate the climb so much more because you know the hard work that went into it. You'll be able to look back and see how far you've come, how much you've grown, and how much stronger you've become because of the journey. Choosing the hard way isn't about taking the path that hurts the most. It's about making a choice to invest in yourself, to invest in your future, and to be the kind of person who refuses to settle for anything less than greatness. It's about understanding that success isn't easy, but it's always worth it. And once you've walked the hard road, once you've put in the work, you'll never go back to the easy way again, because you'll know that it's the hard way that made you who you are. So the next time you face a challenge, the next time you find yourself staring down the hard road, don't hesitate. Don't back away. Embrace it, because that's where you're going to grow. That's where you're going to find the strength and the determination to keep pushing forward. And that's where you're going to find the success you've been looking for. The hard way isn't just the best way. It's the only way. And it's the way that will lead you to the life you've always wanted. Number 9, every master was once a beginner. There's a truth we need to realize, and it's simple yet profound. Every master you admire today was once a beginner. Every expert you see today, whether in sports, business, music, or anything else, started exactly where you are. They were once inexperienced, uncertain, and unsure of themselves, but they didn't let that stop them. Instead, they embraced the journey of learning, growing, and overcoming every obstacle in their path. They weren't born masters, and neither were you. The road to mastery is not paved with shortcuts or instant success. It's paved with patience, persistence, and most importantly, the willingness to start, no matter how imperfect that beginning may seem. If you're looking at someone who has achieved greatness in their field, it might feel like they have some secret, like they were somehow born with an advantage, with a set of skills that set them apart from the rest. But that's just not the case. Every person you see who is successful, who has mastered their craft, has put in the work, just like you will have to. They've faced the same struggles, made the same mistakes, and fought through the same doubts. The difference between them and someone who never reaches their full potential is simple. They kept going. They didn't let the fact that they were beginners hold them back. They knew that every master was once a beginner, and so they pushed forward day after day, step by step. In the beginning, it's easy to feel discouraged. It's easy to look at someone who's accomplished what you want to accomplish and think, I'll never be that good. But let me tell you something. You will never be that good if you don't start where they started. The beginning is where everything happens. It's where you learn your lessons, build your foundation, and grow stronger. You can't skip over it. You can't cheat the process. Every master was once a beginner because they went through the same trials, the same errors, the same moments of frustration and doubt that you're experiencing now. And every one of them had to go through that phase of being a beginner to get to where they are today. What separates the successful from the unsuccessful isn't talent or innate ability. It's the determination to keep going, to show up every day, and to put in the work even when it doesn't seem like anything is happening. In the beginning, it's hard to see the progress. You don't immediately feel like you're getting better, and it can feel like the goal is so far away, but this is where the magic happens. This is the part where you're laying the groundwork for your future success. And trust me when I say, those who succeed are the ones who don't give up in those early stages. They don't quit when things are hard. They don't walk away just because they're not yet where they want to be. Think about it. Any great athlete you admire wasn't born knowing how to shoot a basketball, swing a bat, or run a marathon. They had to start somewhere. They had to learn the basics, make mistakes, and build their skills from the ground up. The same is true in any other field. You don't just wake up one day and become a master. You wake up every day, put in the work, and keep pushing through. And yes, there will be days when you'll feel like you're not getting anywhere, that you're stuck at the bottom, struggling to get to the next level. But that's normal. In fact, that's necessary. Without those moments of struggle, without the moments where you feel like you're failing, you wouldn't grow. You wouldn't learn. You wouldn't become the master you're destined to be. So instead of looking at someone else's success and thinking, I'll never be like them, think about this. They weren't born that way. They were once exactly where you are right now. They were once beginners, and they had to put in the time, effort, and dedication to get where they are. And if they can do it, so can you. The journey is long, and it requires patience, but it also requires consistency. The more you practice, the more you learn, and the more you fail, the closer you get to mastery. Every time you make a mistake, every time you stumble, you're actually moving closer to your goal. Every misstep is a lesson, every failure a chance to grow, and as long as you keep going, as long as you don't quit, you are becoming better and better every single day. The thing that separates the people who give up from the people who succeed is simple. They keep showing up. They keep working through the tough times. They keep pushing past the doubts, and they keep learning even when the progress feels slow. So stop comparing yourself to others. Stop measuring your progress by someone else's timeline. Your journey is your own, and the fact that you are just starting out is something to be proud of. The very fact that you are taking the first step towards your goal means you are already ahead of those who are too afraid to start. Every expert was once a beginner, and your day is coming. All you have to do is show up, put in the work, and trust the process. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, and don't let the fear of being a beginner hold you back. Embrace it. Own it. Because you're on the path to becoming a master, and it's only a matter of time before you get there. Number 10, successful people do what others won't. There's a simple yet powerful truth that separates the successful from the unsuccessful, and it's something that most people overlook. Successful people do what others won't. They put in the hard work, make the tough decisions, and push themselves to go further than anyone else is willing to go. While others are comfortable, content with what they've done, or simply too scared to take that next step, successful people take that step. They rise above the mediocrity, they put in the time when no one is watching, and they keep pushing even when things get tough. This is why they stand out. This is why they succeed. The difference between where you are and where you want to be lies in the willingness to do what others won't. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's not about having the perfect circumstances. No, it's about showing up when others don't, doing the hard things others won't do, and making the sacrifices that most people are too afraid to make. It's about building your future while others are sitting back, waiting for the right moment. Successful people don't wait for anything. They create their own opportunities by taking action when everyone else is sitting idle. Think about it. Successful people wake up earlier, work harder, and put in the extra hours that no one else is willing to do. They don't look for excuses. They don't complain about the challenges, and they don't look for the easiest path. They make the difficult choices, and they face the struggles head on. When others quit, they keep going. When others give up, they keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing forward. This is the kind of mentality that separates the winners from the... It's easy to look at someone who has achieved greatness and think that they were somehow lucky, or that they were born with some extraordinary advantage. But the truth is, they worked for it. They did what others wouldn't. They made sacrifices that others weren't willing to make. And here's the kicker. They didn't stop. While others were giving up, taking shortcuts, or deciding that it's too hard, successful people kept putting in the effort. They kept going when no one was cheering them on. They kept grinding when the world was telling them to rest. The reason most people don't succeed is simple. They're not willing to do the things that need to be done to achieve success. They're comfortable where they are, and they're afraid to step out of that comfort zone. But the real growth happens outside of comfort. Success doesn't come to those who are satisfied with the ordinary, who are content with just getting by. Success comes to those who are willing to go above and beyond, to push themselves harder than they ever thought possible, to sacrifice the short-term comfort for long-term gain. Successful people understand that nothing worth having comes easy. They know that they have to put in the work when it's hard, when it's inconvenient, and when no one is watching. They understand that success is built on the back of hard work, dedication, and relentless pursuit. It's not about taking the easiest route, it's about staying committed even when it's difficult. They know that the reward is in the struggle, and that's where they find their growth. While others are spending their weekends lounging around or making excuses, successful people are making progress. They're taking action when others are procrastinating. They're learning when others are wasting time. They're investing in themselves when others are out there chasing distractions. And when the time comes when others finally realize that they should have put in the work all along, successful people are already ahead. They've put in the time, and now they're reaping the rewards of their effort. The truth is, success doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen with one big move or one stroke of luck. It happens in the small, consistent actions that successful people take every single day. It's the daily grind. It's the commitment to putting in the work when no one else will. It's the ability to stay focused on the long-term goal while others are caught up in the distractions of the moment. Successful people do what others won't, because they know that every single step they take, no matter how small, gets them closer to their dreams. Here's where most people go wrong. They want the result, but they don't want to do the work. They want the reward, but they're not willing to make the sacrifice. They want to be successful, but they're not willing to do the things that will lead them to that success. But the reality is, if you're not willing to put in the work, then you're not going to get the results. And if you're not willing to make those sacrifices, you're going to find yourself stuck in the same place year after year, wondering why you're not getting anywhere. Successful people don't just dream about success. They don't just talk about it. They do what it takes to make it happen. They don't wait for the perfect time. They create the perfect time by acting now, by doing what others won't. And when they face obstacles, they don't let them stop them. They use those obstacles as fuel to keep going, to keep pushing, and to keep working harder than anyone else. If you want to be successful, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to do what others won't? Are you willing to put in the hard work when it's easier to give up? Are you willing to make the sacrifices that most people aren't willing to make? Because that's what it takes. Success isn't given to you. It's earned. And the price of that success is the willingness to do what others won't. So when you look at someone who's achieved success, don't envy them. Don't feel like they have something you don't. Understand that they've done what you haven't been willing to do. They've put in the work, made the sacrifices, and taken the tough road that others were too afraid to take. And that's why they're where they are. If you want to get there too, then you need to start doing what others won't. Don't wait for success to come to you. Go out and create it. Keep pushing, keep working, and don't stop. Because the truth is, success is out there waiting for those who are willing to do what others won't. And if you're willing to put in the work, there's nothing stopping you from achieving your dreams. As we wrap up, remember this. Success is never handed to you on a silver platter. It's earned, and the best way to earn it is through hard work. The truth is, the road you choose today determines the future you'll have. The easy road may look tempting, but it won't lead you to lasting success. The hard road, the one with challenges and obstacles, is where growth happens, where real change takes place. So if you're ready to take control of your life, don't shy away from the hard work. Embrace it. Every step you take, every bit of effort you put in, will pay off. Success isn't just about what you get. It's about who you become along the way. Keep pushing, keep grinding, and keep growing. If you keep putting in the work, stay consistent, and stay focused on your goal, you'll look back one day and realize that every struggle was worth it. You've got this. The hard way isn't just the way. It's the only way. Keep moving forward, and success will be waiting for you on the other side.